Yes, peeps. What's going on, man? We are back in the building. Hope everybody is blessed. Guys, make sure, as always, you're smashing the like, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. So, today we're going to be taking a look now, transfer news from North London, and we're going to be taking a look at Spurs. Spurs they've been doing some business, man. They've been doing some business. So, first up, obviously, we've got Mohammed Kudus. Obviously, Fabrizio here. Kudus will complete his medical at Tottenham today. Plan confirmed. Spurs and West Ham have now started also to exchange documents after deal agreed. 55 million fee will be paid in 3 years. Now, looking at Kudus, first of all, obviously, I know West Ham and the fans, they didn't really want to sell, Kudus to Spurs. Obviously, they've got their own issues and beef that they've got, with the owner. But in a general sense, I feel like, listen, I can't remember how much they actually got him for from Ajax, but I feel like they needed to sell, obviously, because they need to get rid of, some of the wages and stuff like that, and also for them to be able to maneuver in the transfer market. So from a West Ham point of view, might have not been the right suitors, but ultimately it sounds like the right kind of deal. Obviously it's going to be paid in 3 years. So obviously I don't know if they've literally divided the 55 million pound fee into three and I'm going to work it that way. I don't know. Don't know if there's any, like, would I say, add-ons or bonuses or anything like that. But all in all, it sounds like a calm deal. From a Tottenham perspective, I look at it and I think to myself, listen, man, Kudus, versatile individual, and I think you need that under Thomas Frank, especially. We all know the way that Thomas Frank likes to play, with his Brentford sides and stuff like that. Versatility, I feel like, is going to be something they're gonna need, moving forward. And I think just in general, like, I just think he's a decent enough player. Over the last like couple of months, I've been watching a few more videos about Kudus just to kind of see, is this guy really, what I mean? Is he really someone I could see in my own team as an example? And yeah, I think he is. And I think this is a coup for, for Spurs and for Thomas Frank to be able to get someone like Kudus in, and then hopefully, getting some more players to be able to just kind of work his system in the way that he would like to. Obviously, he's got more room to maneuver than he would have done at Brentford. So at least this way as well, it just, I feel like he could turn this Spurs team from nearly men into something. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. And as I mentioned before, obviously about the versatility, these are all the positions he played last season, the 24-25 season. Left wing, right wing, up front, attacking mid, wing back, left mid, right mid, whatever you want to kind of call it. Like, yeah, yo, honestly, if they can get him cooking, yeah. And also, I just feel like it just provides a bit of depth. You know what I mean? I feel like that's kind of something that they are kind of lacking, if I'm being totally honest with you. I mean, when he first joined, West Ham or first came to England anyway, look at the season that he had: 18 goals, 10 assists. Like, I mean, he was on job, or 17 goals, I guess, because one of those was in the Eredivisie with Ajax. But yo, he was on some serious job, man. He was on serious job, and it looked like, right, okay, West Ham were able to get him. That was the kind of thing. And also, I think as well, I know he had other suitors anyway before he went to West Ham, but no one really wanted to pull the trigger. I think it was more, let's see how he does in the Premier League. Obviously, at a team like West Ham as well, let's kind of see, how that kind of works out. Last season, not really the greatest in terms of a numbers game, but some of the performances he did put in, I remember especially ones against Liverpool. Like, I'm watching him, and I'm not saying that he played banging every single game. I didn't watch him every game, but in the games I'm seeing him, I'm like, you can see this guy's just got genuine quality. He just kind of needs that in and around him to kind of knit it all together. That's the way I kind of looked at it when I thought about, Kudus last season. But again, if you're not watching someone all the time, it's just really about the consistency. Is he really, putting in that kind of effort, etc., etc. So yeah, listen, Kudus, good player, and I think it's a really good move, for Tottenham. Next up is some Yoane Wissa news. Yoane Wissa. Sounds like Tottenham are considering a move for Brentford forward Wissa, a deal that is being driven by manager, of course, Thomas Frank, who is keen on the player. Wissa is open to the move, but Brentford don't want to lose both Wissa and Brian Mbeumo in the same window. So they ain't really trying to lose both. Do you know what I mean? Here's another report: Tottenham moving for Yoane Wissa from Brentford. Player understood to be open to a move. I can imagine he would be open to a move, though. It ultimately is a step up when you go to a team like Tottenham. Are like you got to gain entry into being called, like, one of the top, like, a player from the top 6 kind of thing. Tottenham is like the entry kind of barrier. You know what I mean? They're the, you know what I mean? Go chat to them man first before you come speak to the other guys. I think again it would be a very astute signing, and I think it'll be smart. You know, someone like Yoane Wissa, I was thinking about this the other day. Him, Mateta, you see them kind of strikers that like we all writ off maybe like 2 seasons ago, and maybe even if you didn't rip them up, like write them off, it was probably more just a case of you just kind of looked at it like, nah, do you know what I mean? Like they're not really strikers that are really troubling me, so to speak. But in the last couple of seasons, both Mateta and Yoane Wissa, you know, they've really just taken their game to a next level. And I think that's also helped their teams, you know, in terms of the players in and around them. You know, it's like everyone goes to a next level, but these guys are now doing the one thing that, you know, at first is always difficult, which is score goals in the Premier League. You know, these guys are doing that, and they're doing it at a pretty decent rate, if I'm being totally honest with you. Yeah, like I really respect and rate both Mateta and Yoane Wissa. And I think if Tottenham got either one of those two, I'm like, yeah, you're now turning one. It's like smart business. Do you know what I'm saying? This is what I was telling the Man United guys. I was like, yeah, these are the kind of signings that you people should be making, like a Yoane Wissa, someone with experience, someone who's got the know-how in this league, doesn't need time to adapt. Obviously, playing under Thomas Frank last season as well, he knows the tactics, he knows the style, he knows exactly what he wants. Like that might be, you know, sometimes he might favor Yoane Wissa over Dominic Solanke. Now, Solanke's obviously the big, you know, money signing and stuff like that, and he's more the future, so to speak, in terms of just because of his age. But you're looking at Yoane Wissa and you're saying, I mean, he can do what we need, and he can bag goals as well. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like this is his first season. Well, this is sorry, not saying his first season. This was in the 23-24 season. You know what I mean? He's got 12 goals in the Premier League. I'm like, all right, yeah, I mean, that's pretty decent. And me, I like a 2-year window. I'm like, to call you whatever I'm going to call you, whether it's good, bad, or rubbish. I need to see what you're like for the next 2 years. And he's just progressed since last season, the 24-25, got 19 goals, 19 goals in the Premier League. And what's so crazy is that's literally only 7 off of what he got the previous season anyway, kind of thing, with one more assist this time round. So yeah, man, we're seeing some real progression with a player like this, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, you know what, actually, you actually deserve your flowers. Like I actually feel like you deserve your flowers. You deserve the respect from everybody around the league. Everybody now looks at someone like a Yoane Wissa and says, "Oh, that's a good player right there." Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like in terms of what he can bring to the team, someone who can link up play pretty well. You see him dropping out wide, but whether it's wide left, wide right, he can drop into the hole, you know, and link up play there. You know, you can play the long ball up to him. You know, he will battle, he will contest, you know, kind of thing. And when he's in and around the box, he can be smart. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Sometimes there's some of his finishing and stuff like that, in terms of some of the goals that he's got, it's just like by smart play. You know what I mean? Maybe holding on to the ball for that extra second, you know, to draw a defender in. Maybe it's putting your body into the right position in order for you to score. Little things, man. And I think he's got nice little touches as well. Yeah, man. I think, to me anyway, if Tottenham do this, everybody's looking for strikers right now. Yeah, man. Everyone's, yo, I want Isak, Ekatike, Sesko, Gyökeres, and all these other guys, which is fine, of course. But when you're looking at like a smart signing to make, Yoane Wissa, for me, is one of those signings. He's 100% one of those signings. But listen, we'll wait and see in regards if whether or not Tottenham are going to follow up with that. I have read actually today, to be fair, that Nottingham Forest are looking at Yoane Wissa as well. So listen, if anybody who gets him, I think it's good business. I really don't think that's going to be a bad deal for anybody. I think you'll be getting in a very, very good player. But Tottenham obviously are going to need to hurry up. And last but not least, this literally just come up. I'm even redoing this video just because of this. Fabrizio Romano, after Kudus deal done, Tottenham have made a formal approach to Nottingham Forest for Morgan Gibbs-White. Official club-to-club talks ongoing, with opening bid expected soon. Gibbs-White can be open to the move up to the clubs now. Yo, I don't, like I said, I don't know what some of these teams are cooking, man. These signings, you know, sometimes you look at it and you think, yo, that's a good signing there, good signing there, good signing there. If Tottenham were able to get Mohammed Kudus, Gibbs-White, and Yoane Wissa, come on, man. That to me, that is some of the best business you can do for one team. Like you're able to get all it. Yo, for me, I'm looking at that and I'm saying that's a good window. Whether they can pattern up is obviously another question, but that's a very, very, very good window. I can't see how it can't be. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, to me, that is a very, very good window. Whether they can get it done, I don't know. I know that Gibbs-White has other suitors as well. He's a very good player. Obviously, plays in the midfield, attacking midfield. He's just a really, really, how can I put it? He's like a very trying to find like the right word. It's the mentality with him. Like, it just seems like anyway, and I don't know if it's because he's been made Nottingham Forest captain and yada yada yada. If that's the case, then whatever. Because I just feel like when I watch him, I'm like, it's mentality, man. Do you know what I mean? He puts in he just gives me old school vibes. That's probably the best way. He gives me the old school vibe of like, nah, this is a real midfielder. He's willing to battle, but also he's good on the ball. Do you get what I'm trying to say? In those forward areas, Gibbs-White can be a problem. Whether it's late runs into the box, whether it's dropping into that space, whether he's making the run beyond the striker, Gibbs-White has got all of that. And if you need someone to press in your midfield and he's going to press properly and smartly, yeah, Gibbs-White is definitely a very good player for that. And again, under Thomas Frank, listen, man, I feel like I said, obviously it all depends on the signings that Spurs make and stuff like that. But if they make some of these signings that they're talking about, ooh, yeah, for me, Tottenham are going to have a good season. They'll have a very, very good season. But listen, we'll wait and see what kind of happens with that. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section in regards to some of those signings. Do you want any of those players? Let me know if you're a Tottenham fan, especially how you guys kind of look at the three players that we've just obviously spoken about: Kudus, Gibbs-White, and Yoane Wissa. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, peeps, and I'll catch you soon, man.